5 minutes of every call is free, so call now.
1-800-646-8144.
That all day's freshness takes me to a new perspective, on a different path, through open doors.
Introducing something new, individually wrapped all days panty liners. A unique core and fresh weave help absorb moisture and odor. And now they're wrapped for freshness anytime, anywhere.
For a joyride to important gatherings, to another world.
New individually wrapped all days panty liners from Always. Feeling fresh is being free.
Now, your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
A nasty night may turn into a messy morning in many areas of the Northeast. Snow is falling, and that will make travel treacherous. Good evening and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by Nature's Resource Herbs. I'm Christina Abernathy.
And I'm Bob Stokes. Now, parts of the West continue to get pounded by wind, rain, and mountain snows. And if you're looking for the hot spots, move to the south, where there were a number of record highs today. More on that in a moment. Let's begin with the Northeast, where we do have a low-pressure area that's moving toward the Northeast, and it's pulling in warm air at the upper altitudes, and that means we're looking at some snows overrunning some colder air. So we've got it coming down in Poughkeepsie. We've got it coming down in Newark, mixed with sleet and rain. We've got it falling in LaGuardia. Now, is it going to be around tomorrow morning? Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, in and around the greater New York City area, you could see 2 to 3 inches of snow easily, perhaps in Central Park an inch or 2. But there's that warm air overrunning the colder air at the surface, and we've got some sleet that's been falling in College Station the areas around Williamsport. And you just got to be careful along I-80 in Pennsylvania. There's a look at our snows coming down right now in the New York City area, getting into White Plains, also in the Westchester County area, Providence, you're looking at snow, and even along the coastline of Massachusetts in the greater Martha's Vineyard area, Falmouth, you're seeing some snowfall right now. It's light snow, but you can see it throughout the night, so travelers, just be very careful, because our forecast does call for some sleet being mixed in with this precipitation, with the snow, and then perhaps changing to all snow by morning time in the greater New York City area. But conditions will gradually improve throughout the day tomorrow. Say about midday through the afternoon, you should see the snow tapering off considerably. Let's check it out on the big picture. Here's our upper level low moving toward the northeast. Here's an associated frontal boundary, pretty weak front in the southeast, but this same upper level low left some inches of snow in Detroit, Michigan. As a matter of fact, we've got the pictures to prove it. It was coming down hard. While the snow has stopped falling in Detroit, 3 inches of it remain on the ground. This is what it looked like this afternoon, quite a winter wonderland. Only a few of you were brave enough to venture outdoors for a walk. Use caution. Many areas are still slippery. And temperatures, well, look at how high they were as we travel from the Midwest all the way to the southeast. 23 degrees above the average in Charlotte, 15 degrees above the average in Atlanta, and in Texas, you had numerous record highs today. Look at this. In San Antonio, 84 for a high. Corpus Christi, you tied your record high. High pressure sending in some southerly winds. Austin, 83. We're expecting another mild day tomorrow for much of the South, even with the passage of a weak front. Charlotte, 74, and even right now it's 65 in Raleigh-Durham, 62 in Atlanta at this time of the night. It's a little after 11, 58 in Jackson. So we take you from the northeast where the snowflakes are flying in the greater New York City area and are expected to continue to fly in the morning. Also, we're paving the way for a nice day tomorrow in the southeast. We take you from the east to the west where we have another storm system pounding the west coast. And with that, here's Christina.
And you have had your share of messy weather here in the west. Underneath these clouds, we've been dealing with rain, we've had mountain snow, and we've also had some rather windy conditions. And the next system lurking offshore, and it's headed on inland, and that's going to mean even more rain and more mountain snow. Here's the situation right now, though. It's generally western Washington and northwestern Oregon where we're seeing the rain, also into central California. Now it's snow in the Cascades of Washington and Oregon and also into the Sierra. So hopefully that's making the skiers happy, but not such good news if you're going to be traveling in any of these areas. The radar out of Seattle shows indeed we do have some wet weather around the area, and that's extending southward to around Portland. Although things have quieted down for you just a bit, we see a little more wet weather off to your west. And for folks in Tacoma, it's been a bit soggy and a bit stormy. Those of you in Tacoma had your share of stormy weather. Today, high winds down trees and power lines, leaving many people without electricity. You had on and off rain all day with temperatures reaching the low 40s. And get ready, snow levels could drop, which means you may be seeing some snow by late tomorrow. So you've got some wintry weather to look forward to, and Seattle, some soggy weather for right now. To the south we go, and San Francisco, things have quieted for you, at least for the moment. You had a lot of rain earlier, but things have quieted right now. Earlier today it was another wet one, and you have needed the umbrellas handy in the city to stay dry. The rain started yesterday, and it looks like more periods of rain are on the way in the area. 1 to 2 inches have fallen, while winds have gusted up to 30 miles per hour. And again, right now things are a little quieter for you. It's between San Francisco and Monterey that we see the rain right now, and the snow around Lake Tahoe. Some wintry weather for you. And the wintry weather is going to be most significant in the higher elevations here of the Cascades and on into the Sierra, where half a foot of snow or more a possibility through mid-morning. So it's snow for the mountains, rain for the lower elevations, and windy conditions. We're still seeing some breezy weather in the northwest with winds gusting 20, 30, almost 40 miles per hour. And that windy weather is going to continue for you in the west and also in some areas of the east. Let's take a closer look at that forecast, and the forecast calling for maybe some wintry weather for you in New York City for the morning commute. Same goes for Boston with a temperature right around 27 degrees, 33 in Philly, and 38 in D.C. with mostly cloudy skies. Plenty of sunshine to start your day here in the south. Looking great for you in Atlanta and Memphis and Dallas with temperatures in the mid-40s to around 50 degrees. Along the Gulf Coast in the 60s. No rain in sight, and it's just going to shape up to be pretty nice and a pretty mild start to your day for this time of year. 30 in Chicago, but even here that's not so bad. And in the west, this is where some of the worst weather is going to be aside from the northeast. We're expecting windy conditions, we're expecting rain, and we're also expecting some snow and some fog around San Diego at 58 degrees, but up and down the west coast, just very unsettled and not a nice way to start your work week. Temperatures are going to be cool overnight, but really for this time of year, this is not bad at all. 50s and 60s along the Gulf Coast, teens and 20s to the north for your low temperatures. Watching this area of low pressure here off the east coast, pulling some moisture in, and with some colder air in place, we will see some wintry weather here. And here's this next system moving into the west, spreading the rain in, spreading some snow in, and we'll look for some of those snow levels to be lowering through the day. So that means we'll see snow at lower elevations than we're seeing right now. and that will continue on into the early evening hours. While folks in the Northeast, things quieting for you as that system moves offshore and takes all the wet weather and all the snow with it. Most of the eastern half of the country should be